Bronson, trade Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason, and Waddle for Kamara and Montgomery. Assuming you're good at receiver, yeah, for sure. For sure. Jordan Mason probably only has a month left, right? We'll see. That's a tricky fucking situation for Christian McCaffrey as well. But Josh Jacobs is on track for over 400 carries, 425 total touches. He's going to break down. And I thought Marshawn Lloyd looked good. So Josh Jacobs is either going to see a severely reduced workload or he's going to break down. Jordan Mason has a time clock on him as well. And Waddle just lost his QB1. So Kamara is certainly thriving in the Kubiak system. They look a lot better in that offensive line. I mean, Fuaga and Trevor Penning. I mean, those were my two favorite linemen the past 2 years in the NFL drafts. And now they're both playing tackles for the Saints. Woo! Saints are playing football like I would play football. They're running an offense like I would run an offense. So, of course, I love the Saints this year. And David Montgomery's my guy. So, yeah, I would do that for sure. Good news. I love good news. Elias dropped the second most points in the league. Bad news. I played the guy that had Kamara, and he dropped 6. Oh, never mind. I totally read it. I thought you were saying you dropped players last week and they ended up scoring 157 combined. I was going to say that's tough. That's a tough one. But yeah, you scored 157. You played against a 165. Tale as old as time. Next year, convince your league to add a second game against the league median. So then every week you can either go 2-0, 1-1, 1-2, or 0-2 rather. Because so then this week you would have gone 1-1. Makes it a little easier to stomach. Makes it so the better teams are always making the playoffs. But for this year, that sucks. Augusto, Etienne and Ford for Jonathan Taylor or Kyron. Just given the offense right now, man, I would go Jonathan Taylor. I think Colts offense gets a little bit better, and their defense is so atrocious where they're going to have to put up points anyways. Kyron Williams is a better football player in my mind at this current moment. I just don't believe in that offensive line. Can't do it. That injury bug bit them before they even got to step foot on the field. So I think I would do it for Jonathan Taylor. I would really try to get like a bullshit throw-in player that's better than someone on waivers. But I do like having the freedom, like my strategy in most of my leagues, right? I drop my kicker before waivers run, so then I have an extra roster spot to play with, pick up guys, drop guys, play around with it. So freeing up a roster spot is a valuable thing. But yeah, I would prefer Jonathan Taylor to Kyron Williams right now, just because I don't trust that Rams offensive line, man, at all. And it's going to be made a lot tougher, obviously, without two stud wide receivers. And then now the Rams have to play a pissed off 49ers team. So I will say, if you are a Kyron Williams lover like me, I love him, great player. He's a better player, like I just said. You should be able to buy low on him after this week. That's a big risk. You're risking Ford still being good. You're risking ETN still getting a lot of work. Let's look really quickly who ETN and Ford play, because it may be worth it to roll the dice. Okay, ETN plays the Bills. Okay, I'm not afraid of the Bills. And then Ford plays, Ford, the Browns, and Ford play the Giants. You know what? Hold strong. I think Kyron Williams will be a buy low guy after next week, and I think Etienne and Ford will have good performances. So at least I think Ford is in a position to succeed against the Giants, and I think Etienne against the Bills should see some passes. I'm not afraid to run against them. I think it could be okay. And yeah, Colts bum me out too. Man, told you their interior offensive line is going to get eat by Kenny Clark. He was so good. Yesterday. And that defense, Fucking A. Gus Bradley sucks. Like, he hasn't changed his offense since or defense since the 90s. It's fucking terrible. Brock Bowers to the moon. I think he's top 4 rest of season. As of right now, tough to argue against. I would say it has to be PPR. I don't think Brock Bowers is going to score many touchdowns. I don't think the Raiders offense is that good. So, but I think he's going to continue to see a bunch of targets. I think he's going to see pretty good yards. So I think he'll end up like not being top 4 just because he doesn't have the touchdowns to get him there. But I think he's going to be way more consistent than some of the people who do finish top 4. I'll say that. I think what we've seen from him the first 2 weeks is legit. And I think the tight end position is it sucks right now, man. I don't hate the tight end position, but like we're talking about Kelsey's not performing super well, to put it lightly. We got Sam Laporta not being great. Mark Andrews is a thing of the past. I'm sure Kyle Pitts is going to let down a lot of people tonight because that's Kyle Pitts' thing to do, especially on Monday Night Football. Shout out Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball. It's going to be interesting. Back here, no name. What's up? Half PPR. Trade question. Giving Zay Flowers, Charbonnet, McBride. Receive Waddle, Stevenson, Laporta, and Goddard. Love it. In need of RB2. Yeah, go for it. Have Adder. I don't think going from McBride to Laporta is a downgrade. And Zay Flowers to Waddle, I think it's a parallel move, to be honest, with the quarterback news and all that. So that's fine. So then you're talking Charbonnet for Stevenson and Goddard. Fucking love that trade. Have at her. Go Bills. Does Travis Kelce maybe improve with Pacheco gone, or is he officially washed? I mean, if you think he's officially washed, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, once the other receivers become more established and draw more of the attention, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to help them. But the Chiefs are going to run the ball less effectively, at least a little less effectively, you would assume. And if that's the case, then they have to pass it more. But I mean, this week was the most obvious week where they're going to run the football. Like, why would you want to put just Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and them back on the field by throwing the ball? You want to control the clock in this type of game. You do not want to be the team that the Bengals figure it out against. You know what I mean? The Chiefs have seen it time and time again. So they were going to run the ball this week no matter what. So with that being said, you know, with that being the case, Travis Kelce wasn't going to have a good week. Brighter days ahead. If you can buy low, I would love to buy low on Travis Kelce. BJ. Should I trade McBride for Laporta? I absolutely hate position for position trades. It makes no sense in my mind. I don't know why anyone would accept it. But if you can do that, I mean, this one's truly preference. I think McBride's going to have a larger target share. You know what I mean? So I think I would keep McBride, but if I just plugging out of nowhere, I need to do my rest of season rankings yet. But where would I put these two for rest of season rankings? They're both top 5, and they're probably, I mean, they could be 1 and 2. They could be 2 and 3. They are both probably top 3 for me. Love them both. I wouldn't panic if you're an owner. It's whoever you prefer. I would probably go McBride. I think McBride's going to catch more balls. I think he's going to have more yards. Laporta could end up having more touchdowns. That's where I'm at there. Should I package up Laporta and Waddle to trade? Sure. I mean, you didn't have that other question previously. Sure. I wouldn't panic on Laporta and Waddle. I'm just not a Waddle guy. I just think just watching him in that offense, it feels like he's going to be inconsistent. You know what I mean? And if you can't trust what's going to come back from a fantasy performance, then it's not really that valuable for you. You're just starting and praying. I'm not panicking on him though. So it depends on if you can sell them both as, I mean, there's still people that are going to value Waddle as a borderline wide receiver 1. If you can do that and get that value, have at her.